At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
News 46 is brought to you by Healthcare Partners. News is also brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 775-751-0349. News 46 is also brought to you by Team Ford Lincoln, the #1 new volume Ford sales leader in Nevada for 5 years running. Team Ford Lincoln, US 95 and Ann Road. TeamFord.com. News is also brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444.
Tonight on News 46, Affiliated Chiropractic relocates their office. A local medical facility welcomes Dr. Mike Bensler, and a tale of survival in Part 2 of Lost in Death Valley. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Glenn Evers and Monique Mitchell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, April 3rd, 2013. I'm Glenn Evers. Monique Mitchell has the night off. A woman was flown to a Las Vegas hospital for treatment after she was reportedly struck by a vehicle while attempting to cross Highway 160 this past Sunday evening.
Tonight's accident report is brought to you by Stovall & Associates. Don't expect insurance companies to have your best interest in mind. Stovall & Associates cares. Let us help you if you have been involved in an accident.
The accident occurred just before 8 p.m. in front of the Saddle West Casino when the woman attempted to cross the highway on foot, walking into the path of a large silver van. The driver of the van, who was reportedly traveling northbound on the highway, subsequently struck the pedestrian and injured her upon impact. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's deputies, and Nevada Highway Patrol were all on scene as they worked to treat the injured woman and investigate the cause of the accident. The woman, whose name has not been released, was transported from the scene by Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue. She was taken to the Mercy Air landing pad, where she was subsequently flown to the trauma center at University Medical Center. Part of the highway in front of the casino was blocked by deputies as the first responders from the multiple agencies on scene worked to assess the situation and determine the cause of the accident. The condition of the woman injured in the incident was listed in serious condition as of Tuesday, according to Nevada Highway Patrol. This is the second pedestrian accident in the area of State Route Highway 160 in the last month. On March 3rd, a 70-year-old Ohio man named Charles Fisher was struck and killed on the highway as he and a friend were attempting to cross the roadway. According to NHP, Fisher and his friend were walking westbound towards Calvada Boulevard when the Ohio man walked into the path of an oncoming white 2001 Ford F-150 pickup truck, which was traveling southbound. This is Ian B. Clark for News 46.
Nye County Sheriff's Office and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue responded to a 2-vehicle accident that occurred this morning on Calvada and Dandelion. The accident that appeared to be a T-bone collision resulted in injuries to the driver of a gold van who was reported to be pregnant and was subsequently transported locally to Desert View Hospital. Her condition is unknown at this time. The driver of a white Toyota Corolla declined medical treatment. We will have more on this story when information becomes available. Well, one man was arrested on a charge of first-degree arson after he allegedly burnt down his own travel trailer at a homeless camp before walking off into the desert behind a local casino Monday.
In trouble with the law? Call Abracadabra Bail Bonds, and they'll have you out in a...
One man was arrested on a charge of first-degree arson after he allegedly burned down his own travel trailer at a homeless camp before walking off into the desert behind a local casino Monday. Michael Edward Houlihan, 52, was taken into custody after Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Services and Nye County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to the desert area behind Smith's and the Pahrump Nugget for a report of a trailer fire around 9 a.m. this past Monday. When crews arrived on scene, Fire Chief Scott Lewis and firefighters discovered a fully involved trailer fire in the desert area behind the Pahrump Nugget. Thick black smoke and flames devoured the small metal trailer as firefighters made their way to the blaze in a known homeless camp, which was reportedly difficult to access because of the dirt roads leading to the area. According to an eyewitness, Houlihan allegedly became upset after visiting another trailer in the camp, at which time he returned to his own trailer and set it ablaze before walking off. This is not Houlihan's first run-in with the law either. According to a July criminal complaint from the district attorney's office, Houlihan was charged with assault with a deadly weapon after he allegedly brandished a knife to another man, making comments about wanting to kill him. When police located Houlihan this time, he was placed under arrest for first-degree arson and transported to the Nye County Detention Center to be booked into custody. Houlihan was reportedly uncooperative and combative with deputies during his intake process Monday. He is currently being held in lieu of $100,000 and remained in custody as of Tuesday morning. This is Ian B. Clark for News 46.
After the break, we learn how to prevent cancer.
Join us at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino with the #1 gaming experience and entertainment. The Pahrump Nugget has the #1 dining experience at Stockman Steakhouse, Golden Harvest Cafe, and the Gold Miners Buffet. Come get your game on at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino.
News 46 is brought to you by Team Ford Lincoln, the #1 new volume Ford sales leader in Nevada for 5 years running. Team Ford Lincoln, US 95 and Ann Road, teamford.com.
Welcome back to News 46. Well, the American Cancer Society estimates 45,000 people will be diagnosed with cancer in 2013, and it'll kill about 38,000. The rates of pancreatic cancer have slowly increased in the past 10 years. The risk of developing it in your lifetime is about 1 in 78. Right now, researchers are working on ways to detect the killer before it forms. Andrew McIntosh tells us how.
This health tip is brought to you by Humana.
Visit our local office in the Pahrump Valley Junction Shopping Center or call 775-727-0871.
An actor, an astronaut, and Apple's CEO.
The last few years have reminded me that life is fragile.
All killed by pancreatic cancer.
The number of people who are diagnosed with pancreatic cancer every year is the same number, almost the same number as the people who die.
Chances of living 5 years after diagnosis are less than 5%, and most will die within the first year. That's because pancreatic cancer can be difficult to detect. Patients usually have no symptoms until the cancer's already spread. Now researchers are focusing on early detection to try to stop it before it forms.
We're really excited about this.
A recent study found up to 13% of patients who underwent an MRI had pancreatic cysts. Dr. Anne-Marie Lennon says they account for up to 20% of pancreatic cancers. Now, using endoscopic ultrasound, doctors get high-resolution images of the pancreas. If cysts are found, they are biopsied, and the cyst fluid is analyzed to figure out if it's cancerous.
So we have the potential to intervene and try and prevent up to 20% of people with pancreatic cancer developing it.
Researchers are also working on a promising gene test that could predict if cysts have the potential to become cancerous. It's currently being studied in a large clinical trial across the country. I'm Andrew McIntosh reporting.
And African Americans have a higher risk of getting pancreatic cancer than Caucasians. The Mayo Clinic warns other top risk factors include obesity, diabetes, smoking, and a family history of pancreatic cancer. Well, on a happy note, Healthcare Partners welcomes a new doctor to their specialty clinic on Postal Road. We introduce you to Dr. Mike Bensler.
I'm here with Dr. Bensler, who is a cardiac Electrophysiologist. That's a mouthful. Tell me about your profession.
Well, cardiac electrophysiologists actually take care of patients with abnormal heart rhythms or arrhythmias. Most people know cardiologists as patients that take care of patients with heart attacks or acute myocardial infarction. Those cardiologists are more or less considered plumbers. We're actually the electricians. We specialize in heart rhythm disorders or patients who have problems with their conduction system of their heart.
Do you find that that's a common problem?
It's actually getting more and more common, especially here in the United States. Unfortunately, as patients age and get a little bit older, they're at higher risk of developing arrhythmias or abnormal heart rhythms. Sometimes the rates can be too slow with the heart, or sometimes the heart rate can actually be too fast. So there's actually a variety of disorders that we're finding that are more common in the elderly population. You can have regular heart rates that are fast and dangerous. One particular type is atrial flutter, which can actually be regular. Another very dangerous type is ventricular tachycardia, which can actually degenerate into ventricular fibrillation, which can cause a cardiac arrest. So even regular heart rhythms sometimes can be dangerous, as well as the irregular heart rhythms.
How does a person find out that they have an irregular heart rhythm? Is it something in a routine checkup that they would find out about, or are they born with this, or it just develops over time?
Well, about 2/3 of patients with arrhythmic heart disease actually can develop symptoms such as shortness of breath, lightheadedness, dizziness, chest discomfort. But unfortunately, about 1/3 of patients can be at risk of complications from arrhythmias and be completely asymptomatic and not know that they have arrhythmias. So most of the time patients present due to symptoms, but if patients are asymptomatic, they can still be discovered with an electrocardiogram or a screening test to make sure that the heart conduction is normal.
Should a person have a regular screening of their heart rhythm?
Well, an electrocardiogram is not a routine part of an annual physical exam, but any symptoms that are suggestive of potential heart rhythm disorders should prompt a primary care provider or any type of healthcare provider to obtain an electrocardiogram to look for evidence of arrhythmic heart disease.
You're here at the Healthcare Partners Specialty Clinic. You're working very closely with cardiologist Dr. Eric.
Yes, I work with Dr. Eric, and Healthcare Partners Cardiology has started a satellite clinic here in Pahrump where one day a month, one of the electrophysiologists from Healthcare Partners in Las Vegas is going to come down to assist Dr. Eric in providing comprehensive care for the patients, including cardiac electrophysiologic consults.
Affiliated Chiropractic has moved just up the street from their previous location on Postal Road. Yesterday, they held a ribbon cutting with the Pahrump Valley Chamber of Commerce.
All right, I want to thank everyone for coming out here today. We're here at Affiliated Chiropractic and Physical Therapy. They have moved up here on Postal Road right next to the post office in this big, beautiful new building. So come on up and see them. I'm here with Dr. Steve Jolly and Michael Taylor. And at this time, if you guys want to cut your ribbon.
All right.
Good.
Well, we've been in town for a while, and Steve bought a building, and we were able to move to a bigger and nicer place.
So this is actually accommodating a lot more patients, as well as a huge physical therapy area.
That's right. We now have about twice as much square footage. We got some new machines, new equipment. We have more people. We have 2 physical therapists, 2 physical therapist assistants, 2 chiropractors, and 4 massage therapists now on our staff, plus additional support staff.
This location just right up the street from your old location, how are you liking the new building?
It's wonderful. We moved in here at the end of last week, seeing patients this week. Gotten great reviews. It's just nice to have a big location where we can accommodate all our patients.
Does this mean that you're expanding the staff or the hours, or is everything about the same?
I think our hours are about the same. Chiropractically, we're 5 days a week now with the 2 chiropractors. We'll probably have some staff expansion as we get into this. But the best thing is we can offer so many different types of care. You know, if one of us can't help them, we can try the other. And that's the benefit of being together, is that we're able to offer multiple types of care.
And the public is invited to Affiliated Chiropractic's grand opening on Tuesday, April 23rd from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. They are located on the corner of Loop and Postal Road. For more information, call 727-8900. And President Barack Obama unveiled a $100 million initiative to research the human brain. in hopes of unlocking further understanding of brain disorders. The initiative, dubbed Brain Research through Advancing Innovative Neurotechnologies, or BRAIN, aims to help researchers find new ways to treat, cure, and even prevent brain disorders such as Alzheimer's disease, epilepsy, the traumatic brain injury. The funding will be made available in fiscal year 2014. The White House said the funding is in line with a promise the president made earlier this year to increase levels of research. Well, we'll have more great local news right after these messages.